Now, I think we might be taking a little change of direction at the moment, which is a welcome change, I suppose, in the context that our next country report will refer to Romania. And this would have been presented by Adina Balan, who is RENATE. She's our RENATE member from Romania. She's based in Rome, in Italy, where she's a canon lawyer. And Adina is also the European coordinator with Talitha Kum. I'm hand over maybe to Brian, because Brian will have a recording ready from Adina, which he has prepared for us. So thank you, Brian.
Esteemed colleagues, distinguished members of RENATE and partners in the fight against human trafficking, good evening, everyone. On behalf of Talitha Kum International, I wish to extend my deepest gratitude for the outstanding work conducted over the past 18 months by RENATE's Law Task Group in collaboration with the Bakita Center for Research at St. Mary's University in England. Your unwavering commitment to combating human trafficking through comprehensive research, advocacy, and legal intervention is nothing short of extraordinary. This report represents far more than a mere academic study. It is a critical resource that enhances our shared capacity to protect the most vulnerable among us. Today, I stand before you to acknowledge your contributions and highlight some pivotal insights pertaining to Romania. Your meticulous work has revealed significant deficiencies in legal education and resources across Europe, gaps that, if addressed, could fundamentally transform the ability of legal practitioners to provide a victim-centered, trauma-informed approach. Such an approach is essential to addressing the complexities inherent in human trafficking cases, where dignity and respect for victims must always remain at the forefront. Turning to Romania, the findings are both sobering and urgent. As this research illustrates, Romania continues to serve as both a source and a transit country for human trafficking. In 2022 alone, 492 victims were identified, nearly all of whom were Romanian nationals. Alarmingly, 68% of these people were trafficked for sexual exploitation, with almost half of them being children. Romania's geographical location, compounded by both socioeconomic vulnerabilities, makes it a prime target for trafficking networks operating both domestically and across Europe. These numbers call for immediate and decisive action, particularly in strengthening the legal and social safety nets designed to protect victims. Romania has indeed ratified key international conventions aimed at combating human trafficking. However, the research highlights ongoing challenges, particularly in ensuring victims receive adequate legal support. Despite being entitled to free legal aid, many victims are not assigned lawyers promptly, and those often lack access to professionals trained specifically in trafficking-related cases. Furthermore, inadequate compensation for legal aid services has led to high turnover among lawyers, thereby eroding the trust and continuity that victims so desperately need. Another concerning aspect highlighted by the research is the vulnerability of foreign nationals in Romania, many of whom fell prey to traffickers due to language barriers and a lack of awareness about their legal rights. While multidisciplinary teams have been deployed to assist victims, particularly minors, NGOs have expressed serious concerns regarding the quality and consistency of care available. These challenges demand urgent attention. To address these issues, several key recommendations emerge from the research. First, we must prioritize ongoing professional development for legal practitioners. Those representing trafficking victims must receive specialized training, not only in legal procedures, but also in understanding the psychological trauma these victims endure. Integrating trauma-informed practices into legal representation is essential in fostering a more human and effective legal system. Ethical conduct within the legal profession also requires greater focus. Lawyers often find themselves navigating moral ambiguities, sometimes representing both traffickers and their victims. Specialized training in ethical decision-making will strengthen the credibility and integrity of legal services offered to trafficking victims. Additionally, there is an urgent need for the Romanian government to increase its financial and institutional support for legal aid services and NGOs working on the front lines of human trafficking. Beyond mere funding, these organizations need the tools and training necessary to stay abreast of the rapidly evolving dynamics of human trafficking. The legal framework must adapt swiftly to meet these challenges, ensuring that victims' rights are consistently upheld. Moreover, we must advocate for a legal system that guarantees full protection to victims throughout the legal process, from safeguarding their anonymity to ensuring their physical and emotional safety. This also includes enabling victims to access compensation for the violation they have endured, further empowering them in their journey towards justice and recovery. In conclusion, I would like to once again express my profound appreciation for the tireless work and dedication of all those involved in this groundbreaking research. Romania faces significant obstacles in addressing human trafficking, but it also has immense potential for reform and progress. By continuing to collaborate with legal professionals, NGOs, faith communities, and governmental bodies, we can build a future where victims are no longer sidelined but empowered to reclaim their rights and dignity. Together, we can forge a Europe where the rights of all victims of trafficking are not only recognized, but actively protected. Thank you very much for your commitment to this vital cause. Thank you.
And there you have it from Adina. It was a pleasant little interlude to have a change of pace when we have a recording such as that. There will be one more recording just further on in this evening's webinars. It was interesting to hear about the realities in Romania as instanced by Adina, but in particular, yet again, the call for fostering of greater sharing of knowledge amongst practitioners and the need for compensation, the provision of funding from governments to cover compensation for victims and survivors of human trafficking. And I think also what was really alarming is the extent to which 50% of the numbers of identified trafficked persons last year, 50 of them were minors. And I'm afraid that this seems to be a reality. The increased trafficking of minors seems to have taken a pace since COVID, and is one which will not only be alarming for all of us working in anti-human trafficking work, but I think even for legal practitioners, because that then tugs very much at the emotional heartstrings when you're dealing with that other layer of complexity with trafficking of minors. So thank you to Adina